saying?
Right.
And you don't know nothing about it.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just interesting here. So we want to so we're gonna give a great ashe to Brother Ivan Van Sertima.
Ashe.
Okay, Yemaya, ashe. Metatron, ashe. Oshun, ashe. Oshun, ashe. Nephilim, ashe. Bass, ashe. Butchers, ashe. The the female goddess of the Moors is called Metronet. Metatron and it's Metronet. Ashe. Now, y'all all right? So we always bring the bibliography. So you want to get this book, Metatron. Oh, let me get you some glasses.
The mouthpiece.
Metatron, the mouthpiece, yes. He is the head of the angelic host. Metatron is called Medu-Ra-Atan. He's also Akneda, the Ethiopian god, and he's also called Rahat-Tarakti, or what we call Rahaki, or what we call Rahiru-Kahudi. Rahiru-Kahudi. So this is a book called Metatron by Rose Vanden, V-A-D-E-N. Rose Vanden, V-A-D-E-N, and her last name is Enden, E-Y-N-D-E-N. This is her last name. E-Y-N-D-E-N. And this is Metatron. This is the new book that came out. M-E-T-A-T-R-O-N. Metatron. This is the book that you can get to learn more about Metatron, the Moorish god.
He's Santana's angel.
He's Santana's angel. What happened was, Santana's got this visit from Metatron. Metatron told him, look, there's some things that happened to you with some molestation when these white men used to go to Mexico when you was a child and fill you all up. Go down and get little Mexican boys and molest them. He said, you need to tell this story to the world. He said, what? He said, yeah. He said, tell the story to the world. He said he went and he ran to some metaphysical bookstores. He said, y'all know anything about a Metatron? They was like, yes. Gave him some information on Metatron. They read up on Metatron. Metatron said, if you tell them this story, I will make you number one again. And that's almost impossible for a person that was music was from the 70s and you become number one in the 2000s. And he told the story and his record, Supernatural, became number one for an entire year. Now Metatron came to me a year after I started lecturing. He said, my name is Metatron. One of the seers, the sister Tarsili. She said, I need to come over your house. I got a message for you. And she said his name was Metatron. He also said he was Melchizedek. A lot of people, a lot of white folks, and a lot of Christians can't draw that parallel. He said, I'm Metatron. And he said, my real name is Medu-Ra-Atan. That's the Egyptian name, Medu-Ra-Atan, Metatron. And Metatron, and I'll show you how he is the Moorish god. And so he gave me this information, so you don't know who you are, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know, just give me all this particular information about myself or whatever type thing. And he said, I'm with you and all this type of thing. So Metatron, this is the book that came out. So now don't get upset because you got white people, white figures on the books. Look, white folks understand that you draw the image of the God you venerate in your likeness. We the ones who got to learn about that. So don't get mad at them. This white woman wrote this book on Metatron, so she drew this guy here. It says Metatron invoking the angels, invoking the angel of God's presence. Metatron, he's the highest angel. Now I showed you another picture of him as Akneda the Ethiopian. We'll show that again for the people who missed that particular picture. But he's but he is that particular deity, like I said. But this is the Moorish seal. This was found in Europe. Now I don't know if the white boys came back and modified it to their likeness. It doesn't matter. All we know, this is a Moorish seal that they don't take no claim of knowing. They just know that they translated these things. So this is the god that shows up as nothing, but the goddess is called Metronet. And you want to learn about her, you need to get a book called Hebrew Goddess by Raphael Paty. Hebrew Goddess by Raphael Paty. And it deals with Raphael Paty, Metronet. Y'all all right? Okay, so Metatron, Meteoratan, Atan, Atum, Zarabanda, Madre de Agua, Madre de la Luna, Mama Shola. Mama Shola is the Apollo deity that is on the Supernatural album. And he wears a circle with a cross, which means he's Palo. Palo Manombe, the Congo rights that later on in Europe, in Latin America, Mexico. The Palo, real powerful system of magic coming from Congo, Africa. Carlos Santana is inducted into Palo. You see, that's why Mama Shola is on the Supernatural album. Mama Shola. Santissima Muerte, Santissima Pedro Eman, Francisco Siete Reyes, San Simon, Christian Tranquilis, El Cristo Rey, El Cristo Negro. And as you know, El Cristo Negro is a crucified black Christ that is worshipped in Puerto Rico on October the 16th. October the 16th is also worshipped here as the Savior's Day of Elijah Muhammad's birthday, I think. And also it's worshipped in India as Lakshmi's, the goddess of wealth and beauty and prosperity. Lakshmi is called the Diwali festival in India. It's the biggest day in India, or the biggest festival. It lasts a couple of weeks, but it's the biggest festival in India. It's as big as our 4th of July, Christmas, and New Year's. The Diwali festival, which is goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity. She's also October the 16th. But they also worship El Cristo Negro down in Puerto Rico. And the crucified black Christ. There's an El Cristo Rey coming from Palo. El Cristo Negro is crucified black is Osiris. El Cristo Rey is Amun Ra or Horus. El Cristo Rey. There's a big statue of El Cristo Rey down in El Paso, Texas. And that's where my father happens to be buried, in El Paso, Texas. And he happens to be a Hemmitt, which is in Ewalis Burgess' book, it means a people that will, it's an Egyptian name that means a group of teachers in the later day. Now that's a prophecy. H-E-M-M-I-T. Because mine is T-T, but you know, double T1. And it says a group of beings, a group of pre-existent beings that will be in the later day. Teacher, Bobby Hemmitt. That's prophecy. You see what I'm saying? You see, it's called the Hemmitt spirits. You see what I'm saying? But my father, Hemmitt, is buried in El Paso, Texas, and there's an El Cristo Rey. Big old statue, El Cristo Rey in El Paso, Texas. You see what I'm saying? Y'all all right? Give me a few more. Give me a few more. Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, and one called Raphael. He's coming to the planet probably on the summer solstice. Raphael. He's also called Orpheus in Greek, Dionysus in Greek, and Osiris in Egypt. But this is original Osiris. We're talking about frequencies of energies. We'll get into that and stuff. We'll get into that now. So there's one called Raphael. Now Raphael is also this particular deity here. This particular deity that I've been showing. I'll give you another picture of it because I got several ones, but I'll give you the one I can find. Is this particular picture of, y'all all right?
Yeah, we are.
Of Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi. He's known as Osiris in Egypt. He's known as Osiranophus in Coptic Egypt. He's known as Sabbath in Sabbath. You say Akhenaten Hebrew. Sabbath, the god Sabbath. That's what your Sabbath day and all that. Then he's also known as Samedi, Baron Samedi, Saturday, Sabbath in Voodoo. With the top hat. That's why we got the top hats over here. You see what I'm saying? The magical hat. Magical hat. You see what I'm saying? So you can take this hat, you can go out to Party City and get you a little $2 one. They got Party Cities here?
Yes.
Get you a little $2 one right now until you can afford another one. This would cost about $70. And for you men, you can take this hat and put on your little wee-wee and get rid of your little impotence and your little wee-wee problem. You see. Serious business, real powerful shit. He told me, he said, put this hat around your wee-wee. I said, but I don't have no, what you call it, male. I said, I can get it up. He said, I said, I'm not old enough yet. I can get it up. He said, no, put it around your wee-wee. So then I realized what it was. It wasn't that I had erectile dysfunction. It wasn't until I put it on my wee-wee that I found out that there's something different than when you're 19 than when you're 47. When you're 19, you can bust a nut and like 5 minutes later, bam! When you're 47, you might bust a nut, you're gonna have to come back tomorrow. That's it. This a musket. I got one shot at this shit. And this goddamn musket. This ain't no repeat. You got this a gat. This is a musket. This a slit. This a musket. You got one now. You goddamn don't get yours before this damn musket go off. Your shit is toast. You know, so you better get yours before this musket go off. We might not. There ain't gonna be no coming back. No 5 minutes later. But when you're 19, there ain't no problem. 17, but bam! You might not even go out. So they said, put it on your wee-wee. I put it on my wee-wee, and the next thing I know, I was like, oh, shoot! I done went back to 19. Thank you, Baron Samedi. Thank you. Now, Baron Samedi, I kind of bent it up in the way. Baron Samedi, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of her. Baron Samedi has his counterpart is a woman named Bridget. Bridget is her color is lavender, purple. This is her hat, the purple hat. Bridget. Bridget. Very powerful deity, and they rule over the graveyard. They rule over the graveyard, and all. So we're gonna do the Baron Samedi. Ashe. We're gonna deal with Bridget, Ashe, and that'll be good for right now for the actual libation. We're gonna deal with the goddess Tara.